I get asked this question more than anything else, and that is KDP still worth it? Should I start? Should I keep going? And I understand why people keep asking, because the answers out there are usually terrible. You've either got somebody out there trying to sell you something, telling you that it's the greatest opportunity on the internet right now, or you've got somebody who tried it for a few months, didn't make any money, and is now on YouTube telling everybody that KDP is dead and saturated and not worth touching. Neither of those types of people are giving you an honest answer. So this is mine after years of actually doing this. And I will tell you up front that my honest answer isn't a simple yes or no. It's much more complicated than that. And I think that's exactly why nobody actually talks about it properly. There are 4 things that are all true at the same time. And I'm going to take you through all of them because I think you deserve a proper answer rather than just somebody telling you what you want to hear. Now, if you are new here, I'm Caroline and I'm a self-publisher who has been creating and selling books on Amazon for 8 years. And on this channel, I show you how to do the same. The first thing that I want to say, and I'm going to say it right away so that we can just move straight past it, that is that KDP in 2026 is harder than it was in 2019 or 2020. That's just true. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. The market has matured significantly. The competition has increased across almost every niche. And the days of uploading a basic line notebook with a pretty cover and then sitting back and watching the sales roll in are pretty much behind us. If anyone is telling you otherwise, they're either not being straight with you or they built their income years ago and then they haven't paid close attention to how much things have shifted since then. The barrier to entry to KDP is lower than it has ever been. You can go from idea to published book in less than a day, and you don't need any design experience. You don't need a big budget. That sounds like a good thing. And in some ways, it absolutely is, but it also means people are publishing more books than ever before, and the quality across the platform has gone up because of it. Book covers that would have been perfectly competitive 4 or 5 years ago do not hold up now when you put them next to the books that are ranking on the search results page 1. Niches that had plenty of breathing room, plenty of space for new books and new publishers to come in are now much more crowded. Buyers have more choice than they've ever had, and they're making faster decisions about which books are worth their money and which ones are not. So yes, it is harder. I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. And I don't really think it helps anyone to do that. But here's the thing that I want you to hold on to as we go through the rest of this video. Harder is not the same as not worth it. And that's where almost every conversation about this topic goes wrong. Now, let me show you something because I think this is probably one of the most useful things that I can do in this video rather than just talking about it. I want to show you a few books that haven't been on Amazon very long and are already doing well. These aren't books from publishers who have been building their businesses for years and years. These are recent books in well-researched niches with good covers and solid listings, and they're selling consistently right now. The first is a coloring book for kids. And what's surprising about this one is that it is not in that square-shaped format of book that is super trendy right now with coloring books. It's also not in that cute, cozy, kawaii style of coloring books that are really, really popular, but it's more of a traditional style of coloring book. It is self-published, and it was only published in 2024. And it already has a bestseller rank of 253, which is amazing for a newer book, particularly in the coloring book niche, and is probably making somewhere between $15,000 to $20,000 per month. The next book is a puzzle book, and it is a book full of a variety of different puzzles. This book is also a self-published book, and it was only published last year, but puzzle books are a very popular niche on Amazon that still actually doesn't have a massive amount of competition in it. This book has a bestseller rank of 3,121. And if you are new to publishing books on Amazon, we use the bestseller rank to tell us whether a book is selling and how often it's selling. But this book is going to be making somewhere around $5,000 per month. Another self-published book I want to show you is this handwriting practice workbook. Educational workbooks are one of my favorite niches because, like puzzle books, there's still relatively small amount of competition there. This book was only published last year and it already has a bestseller rank of 608, and it makes somewhere in the range of $10,000 to $15,000 per month. And just one last one that I want to share with you, because I could literally go on all day showing you self-published low and medium content books that are doing really well on Amazon. And this one is this guided prompt journals. These are one of the easiest low content books to make. And this one is self-published too. All the books that I've shown you so far in this video are self-published. This one was published only around 8 months ago, and it's sitting with a bestseller rank of 5,775. But what's great about this book is that at Mother's Day and Christmas and other gift buying times throughout the year, these books have a massive selling spike because they're great books to be bought as gifts. And when it's just a normal time of year, no gift buying periods like right now when this video is being made, this book makes around $5,000 per month. So the reason that I'm showing you this is because the people who say KDP is dead or that it's too saturated are usually looking at the wrong evidence. They went in without doing any kind of proper research, published something that wasn't quite competitive enough, didn't make the sales that they were hoping for, and then assumed that the whole platform doesn't work. But these books right here are proof that it is working in 2026 for the people who are approaching it in the right way, and that's the difference. That's what matters, and that's what this whole video really is about. So what does approaching it in the right way actually mean? Because I do want to explain what that actually looks like day to day. It starts with niche research, and I mean real niche research, not just a quick scroll through Amazon to see what looks popular. You need to be looking at demand before you ever commit any time to actually making a book. That means looking at bestseller ranks across the niche to understand whether there are actually buyers there. It means looking at how many results come up for your main keywords and asking yourself honestly whether a new book has a realistic chance to rank on page 1, or whether the books that are already sitting there are so well established that you would never break through them. It means checking whether a niche does have new room for new books and new publishers, or whether it is locked up by a handful of people who have been there for years, because most people skip this step entirely or give it maybe 5 or 10 minutes before they go off and start designing their cover. That's usually where the problems start. If you're not sure how to actually find niches that pass that test, that's exactly what the free report that I put together for you is all about. It is a list of 100 profitable KDP niche opportunities that I've already done the research on. These are niches where there are real buyers, where the competition isn't totally locked up, and where a new publisher with a good book has an actual shot at getting traction. It's in the description, it's completely free, and it will save you a ton of time going down the wrong rabbit holes. Go and grab it and then come back to this video. Then there is the quality of the books themselves. And I say that knowing it's something that the KDP community doesn't always want to hear, but your books have to actually be good. Your cover needs to compete with what is already on page 1 of the search results in your niche, not vaguely similar to it, but able to actually compete side by side, thumbnail to thumbnail, because that's exactly what buyers are doing when they're scrolling through the search results. They're making a split-second decision based on what they see, and if your cover doesn't look like it belongs, they're clicking on something else before they've even read your title. Your listing needs to be working hard too. Your title needs to include the words that Amazon's customers are actually searching for. Your description needs to make someone want to buy the book, not just describe what's inside of it. Your back-end keywords need really, really proper thought, not whatever you just quickly filled in the day that you published the book. Most publishers set these things up once at the beginning and never look at them again, and then wonder why their books aren't getting found in the search results. And then there's how you build your catalog of books or your series of books. Publishing randomly in different niches every few weeks with no strategy behind it is one of the most common mistakes that I see. Every book that you publish should have a reason to exist in relation to the others. When someone finds one of your books and clicks on your author name, you want them to see more of what they're already interested in. Books in the same niche or in related niches support each other. They cross-sell. A random collection of unrelated books doesn't do any of that. None of this is complicated, it really isn't, but it does need more intention than most people bring to it. And that gap between the people who treat it casually and the people who treat it like a real business is almost entirely responsible for the difference in results. Now, here's the part that I do want to be really straight with you about, because I think it really is where most of the damage gets done. KDP is not a get-rich-quick business. It never was, but it was sold that way to a lot of people for a long time, and there are still people coming into it now with those kinds of expectations baked in. If you want to publish 5 or 10 books and replace your full-time income within a few months, KDP is never going to deliver that for you. Not because it doesn't work, but because that version of it was never real in the first place. If you're willing to build it properly and give it actual time, what you get is something completely different. The income compounds in a way that very few other online business models do. A book that you publish this month can still be earning money in 3 years from now without you ever touching it again. Every Christmas, every Mother's Day, every Father's Day, every Halloween, your seasonal books come back around and start selling again without you having to do anything extra. As your catalog of books grows, those books start to support each other, and the whole thing builds momentum in a way that a single book would never do. But you have to be patient enough to let that happen, and most people aren't. They give it 3 or 4 months, the income doesn't look like what they're promised, and they walk away. Some of them walk away right before it would have started to turn in a positive way. I've seen that happen more times than I can count. The expectation problem is probably the single biggest reason that people fail at KDP, more than the competition, more than the market changing, more than anything else. And then there's where I personally sit within all of this, because you asked for an honest answer and here it is. I definitely still believe in KDP. I'm still publishing, I'm still building, I'm still seeing results, and I've been doing this long enough to have seen a lot of things come and go in this market. Books that I published years ago are still earning royalties. The seasonal books come back year after year. I've built income that goes beyond KDP royalties because of the catalogs of books that I've built here. When I look at the full picture of what this business is, I'm still here because it is worth being here. That's just my honest experience after years of doing this. For the people who go in with realistic expectations, who do the research before they start publishing, who build their catalog of books with intention, and who stick with it long enough to let the compounding do its thing, it works. I've seen it work for enough people to know that. So, is KDP worth it in 2026? I think you have the answer to that now, but it's harder than it was, and you do need to go in clear-eyed, clear-minded about that. It is absolutely worth it if you approach it properly, treat it like a business from day one rather than just something that you're dabbling in. It depends entirely on what you are expecting from it and how patient you're actually prepared to be. And yes, I still believe in it, and I'm still building a business here. The people failing at KDP right now are failing because of how they're doing it, not because the platform is broken, not because it doesn't work. The platform, KDP, is full of books that are selling today. I just showed you some of them earlier in this video. If you do want to give this a serious go, start with the niche research, because that's where almost everything goes right or wrong before you've even thought about designing your book. That free report with 100 profitable KDP niche opportunities is down in the description. Go and use it as your starting point and make sure the next book that you publish actually has buyers waiting for you before you make it. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too, so please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.